a LAN, as you can tell by the name, is a local network. And what do we mean by local? Again, it could be, it's not really defined by the size or the number of devices on the network. It could be 2, it could be 1,000, it could be 10,000. Here, the key word is local. So that a LAN is going to be restricted to a particular geographic location, such as an office building, such as a local office campus, a single department within an office, or even a home office. Okay, so local area, when you think about a local area network, think about just, is it in the same geographical area? The LAN is not defined by the number of devices. And, it's not a hard and fast rule. It's not like if you say, these two buildings are 3 miles apart, that it's a LAN, and if it's 3.1 miles, it's a WAN. But the point is that if just generally, if you think about it, is it in a local area, that would be considered a LAN. But even when we have a LAN, there are lots of reasons, and we'll get into them, where you want to segment that LAN. Okay, you want to create different what might be called work groups. Okay, so work groups are smaller or peer-to-peer or smaller segments of a LAN that are together comprise the LAN. Okay, and then we're going to use the term work group slightly differently than the name suggests. We're going to basically use it to refer to computers that are physically in the same network segment. And again, some of this stuff is going to build on each other, because I'm going to come back and talk about what a segment is. But theoretically, a work group is something that's specific to the Windows operating system. But we're going to think about it as just devices that are physically in the same network segment. Okay. So the point is, you have a LAN, but then those LANs you're going to break down into work groups. So here's an example, right? So if you're thinking about a business environment, you can arrange your work groups by department or divisions. So for example, you might have a work group for accounting, another one for sales, another one for marketing, maybe another one for print jobs. So you can see there are 3 different LANs here, right? And the way it's set up right now, or 3 different work groups, and the way it's set up right now, you don't really have connectivity between the 3, right? You have these 3 work groups, or 3 LANs, even if you want to call them. So in order to then have them communicate with one another, then you're going to have some kind of a router or a switch that connects all of them. Okay, and so you're going to be able to segment these for a lot of reasons, right? So why would we want to segment them? One of the reasons is privacy or security, right? In some cases, you're going to have different departments, let's say HR, right? HR doesn't want everybody else crawling around in their network space to be able to potentially access sensitive data, or your legal department might not want that. But then the other part of it is performance, right? If I make sure that I create smaller segments or smaller work groups, then the traffic in that network is limited or is reduced, and so the performance in those networks, those subnetworks, those work groups is better. And so if I'm expecting people in accounting to kind of be using their own resources, and people in sales to be using their own resources, and so on and so forth, then if I segment their networks, then the traffic from sales doesn't go to marketing, and marketing doesn't go to sales, and so on and so forth. So again, it goes back to the 2 points that I brought up early on, which are performance and security. Okay, and that's also the reason why you might want to think about segmenting your LAN into these work groups.